Welcome, fellow Kiss fans. Welcome to It's All For You Demon. My name is John.
Don't steal my intro. Welcome, fellow Kiss fans. Welcome to It's All For You Demon, celebrating the fun of being a Kiss fan. My name is Rick, and today we are talking the Beatles. Technically, I was a Beatle fan prior to being a Kiss fan. Around my 7th grade year, MTV began airing the Beatle cartoons. My friend Dan taped every single one of them on VHS, and that fall we spent every day at my house riding BMX bikes, listening to the Beatles, and watching those cartoons. It was pretty much the most fun fall I have ever had in my entire life. Hence, this time of year, I get a little Beatle hot face. So pretty much that entire fall, winter, 1986 into 1987, I dove into my mom's Beatle records and learned everything I possibly could about the band. Now, as far as being a fan of the Beatles, I'm an early Beatles fan. A Hard Day's Night is my favorite movie, and Rubber Soul is my favorite record.
So you can imagine my absolute delight when I discovered Kiss and began diving into the band to find that Gene Simmons himself was a Beatle fan, and possibly the Beatles inspired him to be a star. Gene even goes further and mentioning the Beatles in an actual chapter titled Crazy Crazy Nights, the 60s and the Beatles. And this is actually my favorite chapter from his book, The Stuff Dreams Are Made Of.
So pretty much immediately right off the bat, I developed a kinship towards Gene. I too loved the Beatles. I loved how fun their songs were, how poppy they were, how hooky they were. Hooky is not a word. Hooky is what you do when you skip school. I loved the hooks of John Lennon and Paul McCartney, and so did Gene. And so in my 15-year-old mind, I'm kind of thinking, maybe I am him. And maybe I could become a rock star too. So I have always had a soft spot for Gene's soft spot of the Beatles, much of which can be heard in this solo album, which I love. I love this record. I know people hate it. I simply love it. It's the best. It's the best! And what I appreciate Gene for, even more than mentioning the Beatles in interviews and books, is that he channeled his inner Beatle on tape, on vinyl, in a glorious fashion. If you are familiar with the song All You Need Is Love from the Magical Mystery Tour album, you know at the end of the song, John Lennon ad-libs a previous Beatles song. As the rest of the band is singing the chorus, Love, 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 John Lennon starts singing She Loves You, a previous Beatle hit. The same thing Gene Simmons does at the end of I when he ad-libs the verse from Rock and Roll All Night. Man, when I was 15 and I heard that, I immediately went back to the history of the Beatles and John Lennon doing that. And I have never read an interview or seen a statement that actually confirms that the Beatles or John Lennon inspired Gene to do that. But knowing Gene's love of the Beatles, you can't deny it. It has to be directly from what John did, and All You Need Is Love. Talk about your rock and roll fun. Two very completely different style records, but sharing the same rock and roll fun bond. Thank you for hanging with me today. Take care, be safe, never stop having fun, and I will talk to you soon.
Donut hole dog. Donut hole dog. Twinsies. Twinsies.
Leave us alone, my good man. Leave us be.